Today's discussion is about your beautiful new book, Purpose Mindset, which I had a pleasure reading because, I recognize the people, I didn't know the stories. So it's kind of interesting that you brought those worlds together. You joined Microsoft in 2004, was it?
Yeah.
And you were running Microsoft Community Affairs that time, which is now what they call Microsoft Philanthropies, correct?
Yeah.
Tell me what your idea was when you entered that mindset at Microsoft, because I know there was some backstory to that when your wife started the company and you were observing this machine at Microsoft that wasn't just profitability. There was this giving that was going on. Can you tell me about before you entered Microsoft and then entering Microsoft, where your mindset was?
Bill Gates was fortunate to come from a family that was deeply rooted into the community.
That's right.
Mary Gates, Bill's mother, and Bill Gates Sr. were both prominent members leading civic efforts in the Seattle community. And Bill recounts that, he would be asked to go stand on street corners with placards around a cause that his father or mother was supporting. It is difficult to think about making money and creating a stable company and thinking about giving away money at the same time. It is just very hard for anybody, right? So I don't bemoan the fact that founders are not necessarily able to toggle both sides at the same time. That's right. It's just a matter of time when that can get unleashed. But what was interesting is that purpose was always underlying the Gates family.
Wow.
A larger purpose. And as their wealth grew, they were then able to figure out how best to invest those resources. But you also have to realize that humanity touches everybody at some point in time. People have kids that are born. People have issues that happen. People see something happening to their neighbors and they want to help out. So the ability to create vehicles by which the human component of neighborliness, of the common good, needs to get created. And a company is that square, is that neutral place that can cultivate that, can become a catalyst for that. And that's how I see purpose slowly seeping into these hyper-competitive individuals.
I want to specifically talk about one of the people that you mentioned in the book. And the reason is because I have a relationship, and I also, as a documentarian, I've documented the Agarwal family. Rajiv is a great friend, and his wife, Arpita. And I remember going to India with Rajiv and seeing, he talked about growth mindset quite a bit, actually. And I want to talk about that shift from growth to purpose and sort of the alignment of that. But I remember seeing Rajiv giving back into the communities. And I was interviewing, seeing some of the work that he was doing with schools there and his mindset. And he has a great, very successful company. MAQ Software is doing very, very well. Great company. But the shift, his mind is also and constantly about the give back, constantly about giving.
Right. So Rajiv and Arpita are very interesting.
Yeah.
As part of their work at MAQ Software, they had these offices in India and Hyderabad and other places. And they were basically saying, hey, rather than shutting our computers are there and do nothing in the evening.
Yeah.
So let's get the neighborhood kids for an hour or two and let them use it and teach them how to use computers.
Yeah.
So that's what they started doing early on, very early on. And from there, they went deeper and deeper into not just this basic technology education, but transforming the way in which education gets done in India through the schools, through the interconnection of technology, now through developing various models by which you can actually create localization and language tools. And so So in some ways, they both first just utilize the Microsoft match, right? The 10,000 match, the 12,000 match, while they were there, to just donate to local charities in India because of where they grew up.
That's right.
And mother being a school teacher, they were interested in supporting and helping build schools.
This idea of business having a bigger purpose than just making money, right? Yeah, giving back to society. I read a quote, and I'm going to read this here from your book. Philanthropy is not only about contributing to other people's lives, it's about transforming your own. Can you tell me about how you transformed?
My friend Aaron Hurst, in his book, Purpose Economy,
Yes.
did this survey. And he basically says that, you can divide people up into three. People are driven by purpose, people are driven by money, and people are driven by status. And there's nothing wrong with either of them.
Sure.
Because it just depends on, where you came from and that particular point in time in life. Those that are driven by purpose are those that are, I'm only interested in the work that I'm doing and the value of my work.
Yes.
I don't care about the title. I don't care about the salary. Yes, I do care, but that's not my primary driver.
Yeah.
Then there are others who are basically saying, I do need to get that income.
Yes.
And that promotion. And then others want the status. But everybody can have a secondary driver.
That's right.
And what I'm trying to show in this book by people's stories is that not everybody who came in because they were driven by purpose.
Mm.
The majority of people came in because they wanted to be in this company and use technology to transform.
Yeah.
But that giving campaign kind of became this opportunity where people started getting exposed.
Yes.
And as they matured in their lives and found stability, they became more and more engaged.
Can you tell me about your current work and how you are helping people and companies currently? Because I think that this is important because everyone needs this mindset in their company.
We are focused on three things. One is helping individuals and companies and nonprofit organizations doing strategic work with them around purpose. And if that then becomes some sort of an employee engagement program, so be it.
Sure.
But it's much more getting people to go a step higher and look at what strategies and what are your core values of individuals and companies that need to be catalyzed.
Sure.
Right? So that's the work that we do. So there's a consulting piece. Then there is a convening piece that we do where we bring people from around the world for a intensive training program, leadership development program, and we kind of work at two levels there maybe three levels. One is to help them discover their purpose.
Sure.
Introduce them to innovation that is happening in social transformation, and then giving them the space to design their own pathway forward.
There's a piece where you talk about growth mindset into purpose mindset and how those sort of align. I want to explain that to people because it's quite amazing. Can you tell me how those are aligned and how they sort of help each other?
So I think part of the reason for the title of the book was this play on growth mindset.
Yes.
Right, Carol Dweck's seminal work on how we need to move from a fixed mindset into a learner's mindset.
That's right.
Right, that we are constantly learning, we're constantly improving, we're constantly taking the challenge, we're constantly seeking out new things. And that's exactly what I did.
That's right. That's right.
Right? I mean, I kind of did all of that, right? I was given an opportunity, I took it. Even whether I knew anything about it or not, I went and learned about it. Then wrote books on it.
That's right.
so that I actually became an expert on that subject matter, which I had no real authority on. Right? I've written books on technology and its impact on society, but it's all because of what I chose to do. So growth mindset is very important. But what I eventually started realizing is growth is for what? Is that for you as an individual? And is it for you and the company? How does that then translate to the society and the common good?
That's right.
So we are still living within the me bubble. It's me, individual growth, and me, the company growth. But how do we shift to the we, to the community? And purpose is what allows you to take that growth mindset and apply it for purpose and create a purpose mindset.
Beautiful.
And I think that's what I want the readers to get out of the book. I want to just kind of describe, these 5 principles of the purpose mindset, which kind of gets people to understand what it really means to function with a purpose mindset. One is work from your strengths.
Yes.
Second, put on the abundance frame of resources rather than scarcity. We are in a very scarce resource environment, but even in that, you can find small bits which can become bigger. And if you can go through the stories of the book, you will find almost everyone starting small.
That's right.
So, abundance. Third is pick the right thing to focus on, not worry about doing things the right way. So it's about effectiveness and not efficiency. You have to take moments and turn it into movements. Movements are where you are actually creating that higher purpose. I'll give you an example. When we tell our kids, what do you want to be? Or should we actually telling them, who do you want to serve?
Wow.
When you say, who do you want to serve, you're actually putting them part of a movement. And then the last one, how do we move from that path of generosity to empathy to compassion?
Wow. This is a global mentality, not a localized mentality, what you're talking about here. So this doesn't just apply in Seattle. It just doesn't apply in India. It applies all over the place. And that's why I think your book is so effective. These examples are a global reflection on how we can really flourish as a society with this purpose mindset.
That it is not just about, hey, be donate.
Yes, it's very different, very, very different.
It is about really bringing in your skill sets.
Yes.
And then having a deep understanding of the community that you want to impact. And then how do you bring the two together?